The readings we're going to be listening to from now on up until Lent all have a common theme. They're all about discipleship. They're part of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. The first part of it we missed last week. It would have been the Beatitudes, but we had the Feast of the Presentation, so we didn't get to hear that text. But from now on, Jesus is going to be talking to us, teaching us what it means to be a disciple, what a disciple is supposed to look like, sound like, how we are to follow Jesus Christ. Over the years, I've visited homes, met a number of people, as you tend to do in life. And what's interesting is sometimes hearing people speaking, and maybe they've been working somewhere, and I've been chatting with them, and they're saying, and did you know, just last week, I discovered that so-and-so in my office is a Catholic. And I've been working with them for about 10 years, and I never knew. You'd go into homes, and I would anyway, and good Catholic homes, and when I go in, I've seen some places have a cross and maybe a statue of Our Lady, and sometimes at the door there's a little stoop for holy water, that sort of thing. And other Catholic homes I go into, there is absolutely no trace of Christianity at all visible in that home. And it's, like the person at work, in a sense, it's almost as if the Christianity is hidden. And the world teaches us, the world is saying to us, you can be Christians, that's fine, but we just don't want you to manifest it in any way whatsoever. Be a Christian at home, in your own bedroom, okay? But please, don't let anybody else know about it. It's just something between you and God, because Christianity, as you know, is just between me and God, isn't it? It's got nothing to do with anybody else. But in fact, Jesus is teaching us, and he will continue to teach us, how that is absolutely not the case. Our Christianity is not just between me and God. Yes, it is to do with me and God, and it needs to be between me and God, but it's also to be between me and my brother and sister, my neighbor. My Christianity must affect and touch other people's lives. It must do that. Why? Because of Jesus Christ. If Jesus Christ means anything to me, if our life in Christ means anything to us, it will be manifest. It will be visible. And this is what Jesus is speaking about in the gospel. He's saying, you are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. Salt, but if salt becomes tasteless, what can make it salty again? Salt as a I was going to say a compound, but I'm not sure if that's the right word for salt. As a thing. In itself, it's like, in itself, sitting on the shelf, it might as well be sand. Yes, if it just sits on the shelf and does nothing, if we never use it, it might as well be sand or anything, because it's serving no useful purpose at all. Salt is there for us to use. And when salt is used, it's used usually for something good, for bringing taste to our food, to make it taste better. Before we had refrigerators, we would salt food to prevent it from going off. The Old Testament, they used it as part of their sacrifices. They used it for purification of land, of people, of the sacrifice itself. So salt is a very useful thing that brings more to life. And that's what we are about. You are the salt of the earth. When you are present, wherever you are, you bring that extra something. You add to the atmosphere around you. You bring something more. You are light of the world, Jesus says. I was just with the kids in the other mass, and we had a lamp lit, but it was pointing down so that no light came out. A light, a lamp, a fire in itself, for the sake of a fire, for the sake of a lamp, in itself does no good itself until it's used. When it's used for something positive. it changes the place, changes the atmosphere, changes the area that it's in. And that's what we do. That's what you do through your faith, through your living of that faith. The nation of Israel was called to be a light to the nations, so that all the nations around, the pagans around, would see this nation is different. It's not like the rest of us. This nation has one God, a law that is different from ours. And that nation would eventually transform the world. And that's what Christianity is doing. The Lord calls us not to be the same as everyone else. We're not to blend in with society and be invisible. To do that would be tasteless salt, would be to be a light under a tub. The Lord calls us. The Lord has given us His light. The Lord has given us flavor, which is He Himself, so that wherever we are, there is light and there is salt.